Welcome back, to my channel Coin Collectors World, coin lovers and treasure hunters, to another exciting episode on our channel, where every coin tells a story and every pocket change might just hide a small fortune. Today, we're diving deep into the history, mystery, and hidden value of one of the most talked about modern coins from the United States of America, the Washington Quarter Dollar. Minted in 1997 with the D Mint mark. At first glance, the 1997 D Washington Quarter might look just like any other coin in your change jar, the familiar face of George Washington on the front and the proud American eagle on the back. But what most people don't realize is that some of these quarters hide a secret that could make collectors' hearts race. Let's start with a bit of background. The Washington Quarter has been in circulation since 1932, created to honor the first President of the United States, George Washington. Over the years, the design has changed slightly, but one thing remains constant: these coins have a special place in American history and in the world of numismatics. Now, in 1997, the Denver Mint, represented by the small letter D, struck millions of Washington quarters. Most of them are worth just 25 cents today, but a very small number have something truly special. Certain 1997 D quarters were struck with remarkable errors or variations that make them extremely valuable to collectors. So what exactly should you look for? Start by checking the overall condition of your coin. If your 1997 D quarter looks sharp and shiny, with full details on Washington's hair, clean lettering, and no scratches or wear, it might be in mint state condition. Coins graded at higher mint state levels, like MS 65 or MS 67, are rare and always in demand, but the real excitement begins when you start looking for minting errors. Some of the 1997 D quarters have double die features, where parts of the design, such as the date, lettering, or mint mark, appear slightly doubled. Under a magnifying glass, this doubling looks like a faint shadow of the original design. Such errors are not only fascinating but also can make your coin hundreds or even thousands of times more valuable. Another rare error is a die break, sometimes called a cud. This happens when part of the die, the tool that stamps the design, cracks or chips off. The result is a raised blob of metal on the coin, often near the edge or across Washington's face. Collectors love these unique mistakes because no two are ever exactly alike. There are also off-center strikes, where the design doesn't sit perfectly in the middle of the coin, and partial collar strikes, where the reeded edge looks uneven. These unusual minting flaws can turn an ordinary quarter into an extraordinary collector's treasure. Now, let's talk about the Denver Mint. Coins with the D Mint mark are made in Denver, Colorado, one of the major U.S. mint facilities. In 1997, Denver produced a huge number of quarters, but only a fraction of them remain in pristine condition or carry the rare errors that drive collectors wild. That's why finding one is like discovering a needle in a haystack, or better yet, a diamond in your change jar. Imagine this: you're emptying your pockets after a long day, and there it is, a shiny 1997 D quarter. You flip it over, notice something unusual about the details, and decide to have it checked by a professional coin grader. Days later, you find out your ordinary-looking coin is worth a life-changing amount. It sounds unbelievable, but stories like this happen more often than you'd think in the coin collecting world. The coin market is full of surprises. Values rise and fall depending on collector demand, rarity, and overall condition. But some special 1997 D Washington quarters have already sold for jaw-dropping amounts at major auctions. These are the coins that were perfectly preserved since 1997, kept away from circulation, and often display that eye-catching mint luster that collectors crave. So the next time you're counting your change or sorting through old coin rolls, keep your eyes open for that 1997 D Mint mark. Check the edges, inspect the lettering, and don't forget to look for doubling or any strange marks that don't seem normal. Every detail matters, and sometimes those small differences are what separate a regular coin from a rare and valuable masterpiece. Collectors around the world are constantly on the hunt for this coin, not just for its beauty, but for the thrill of the chase. The Washington Quarter symbolizes more than just 25 cents, it represents a piece of American history, craftsmanship, and the joy of discovery. And now, for the part you've all been waiting for. Among these rare and exceptional 1997 D Washington Quarter dollars, one particular specimen in perfect mint condition, featuring a unique minting error, has reached a stunning value of $50,000. Yes, you heard that right, $50,000 for a single quarter. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating modern coins in American history, the 1997 Washington quarter with the P Mint mark. This tiny piece of metal has captured the attention of collectors, treasure hunters, and coin experts all over the world. And you'll be shocked when you hear how much one of these can be worth. Let's start with the story behind this coin. The Washington quarter has been one of the most iconic coins in the United States since it was first minted in 1932, honoring the first president, George Washington. By the time 1997 rolled around, billions of quarters had already been produced. Most people never think twice before spending one. But among those billions, there are a few rare pieces that stand out, and the 1997 P quarter from the Philadelphia Mint is one of them. The design features the familiar portrait of George Washington on the front, with the word Liberty above his head and the national motto, "In God We Trust," to the left. Beneath his neck, you can find the small but important letter P. That's the mint mark, showing that this coin was made in Philadelphia. On the back, we see the bold and majestic bald eagle, the national bird of the United States, wings stretched wide and clutching arrows and olive branches, a symbol of both strength and peace. But here's where things get really interesting. While most 1997 P quarters are just ordinary coins, a small number have extraordinary qualities that make them incredibly valuable. Some of them were struck with special die errors, minting mistakes that happened during production. These errors might include double strikes, off-center prints, missing layers, or rare planchet issues. Even the slightest imperfection can make a coin unique in the eyes of a collector. Imagine finding one where George Washington's face is doubled, or the eagle on the reverse looks slightly shadowed. That's not damage, that's a mint error worth real money. Another key factor is condition. In the world of numismatics, that's the study and collecting of coins, condition is everything. A 1997 P quarter that looks worn and scratched from years of circulation is worth only its face value, 25 cents. But a coin that looks brand new, with shiny luster and no visible marks, is called mint state. Those can easily sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on grading. The highest grades, like MS-68 or MS-69, are almost flawless, nearly perfect examples of coin craftsmanship. Collectors are constantly searching for these near-perfect pieces. Some have even been found in sealed mint sets that were never opened. When one of these coins is graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC and receives a top-tier grade, the value skyrockets. Combine that with a rare die error or unusual strike pattern, and you've got a jackpot hiding in your pocket change. People have reported finding coins like this in old coin jars, in family collections, or even in rolls of quarters straight from the bank. One small discovery can turn an ordinary day into an unforgettable one. That's the magic of coin collecting. You never know what history or value might be sitting right in front of you. The 1997 P Washington quarter might not be made of silver or gold, but what makes it so special is its story and its scarcity in pristine form. It represents a perfect blend of American history, craftsmanship, and mystery. From the proud eagle on the reverse to the polished portrait of George Washington, every tiny detail holds meaning, and sometimes, a secret. So next time you're handed a quarter, take a closer look. Check that mint mark. Observe the shine, the edges, the lettering, and the surface. Because hidden among millions of ordinary coins, there could be one that changes everything, a single coin that's not just a quarter, but a treasure worth $50,000. Have you ever thought that a simple quarter in your hand could actually be worth a small fortune? Most people never even look twice at their pocket change, but sometimes, hidden among the ordinary coins, there lies something truly extraordinary. Today, we are going to explore the incredible story of the 1996 D Washington quarter dollar, a coin that looks completely normal but has the power to shock even experienced collectors with its unbelievable value. It all begins in the year 1996, when the United States Mint continued its long-standing tradition of producing the Washington quarter. This coin series first appeared back in 1932 to honor the nation's first president, George Washington, the man who led America to independence and helped shape its destiny. On the front of the coin, or the obverse, you'll see Washington's famous side profile, designed by John Flanagan, a symbol of strength and leadership that has remained iconic for decades. On the back, or the reverse, stands the proud American eagle with its wings spread wide, symbolizing freedom and power. Now, here's where things start to get interesting. In 1996, the Denver Mint, represented by the small letter D located just beside Washington's neck, produced millions of these quarters. They were meant for everyday use, buying snacks, parking meters, and vending machines. Nothing special, right? But among those millions, a handful of coins were struck differently. Some had slight minting errors, others were made with exceptional precision, and a few remained untouched, perfectly preserved in brilliant mint condition. Those rare examples became treasures hiding in plain sight. Collectors, or numismatists as they're called, are always hunting for such gems, coins that tell a story, that carry history, or that have survived the test of time in pristine shape. The 1996 D Washington quarter became one of those hidden treasures. Most people had no idea that something so small, so ordinary looking, could become one of the most valuable modern coins in circulation. Imagine someone cleaning out an old coin jar, sorting through quarters to take to the bank, and suddenly spotting one with that little D mint mark and noticing it gleams a bit brighter than the rest. The edges are sharp, the details are crisp, and it looks almost brand new, as if it had just left the mint. For that person, it could be the beginning of a life-changing discovery. When experts and grading companies evaluate coins, they look for perfection, no scratches, no signs of wear, perfect luster, and flawless detail. A 1996 D quarter that meets these conditions can receive an exceptionally high grade, and that grade can make all the difference between a 25-cent coin and a collector's treasure worth thousands. And in one remarkable case, that's exactly what happened. A collector brought in a 1996 D Washington quarter that looked unusually perfect. It was examined under high magnification, checked for die quality, metal surface, and overall preservation. When the grading results came back, it turned out to be one of the finest known examples of its kind. The coin's sharp design, mirror-like shine, and flawless strike made it a masterpiece among quarters. When this stunning coin went to auction, collectors from all over the country began to compete for it, determined to own this rare piece of American minting history. The bids rose higher and higher, the excitement grew, and the room filled with anticipation. After intense competition and rising offers, the final hammer came down, sealing the fate of this once ordinary coin. It was sold for an unbelievable price, the kind of number that turns heads and captures imaginations across the world of coin collecting. That single 1996 D Washington quarter dollar was sold for $55,000. Yes, a coin that once could have been used to buy a soda, pay for a bus ticket, or dropped into a fountain for a wish, ended up being worth $55,000. Stories like this remind us that sometimes, true treasures are hiding right in front of us. Every coin in your pocket has a story to tell, and one of them could be the next legendary find. So the next time you get a quarter, take a good look. Check that mint mark under the year. If you see the small D for Denver, hold on to it. Examine its shine, its edges, and its details. Because you never know when a 25-cent piece could change your life forever. Coins like the 1996 D Washington quarter dollar are not just metal, they are time capsules, pieces of history that connect us to a nation's legacy, its art, its craftsmanship, and its hidden magic. And for collectors, that thrill of discovery, that hope of finding a rare gem among the ordinary, is what keeps the world of coin collecting alive and full of wonder. So keep your eyes open, keep your curiosity alive, and maybe, just maybe, the next valuable treasure is already sitting in your wallet right now. Thank you for joining us today on Coin Collector's World, where every episode brings you closer to the hidden value inside your pocket change. Remember to subscribe, like, and share so more collectors can join our growing community of treasure hunters. Keep searching, keep collecting, and never stop believing that the next coin you find could be the discovery of a lifetime. Until next time, this is Coin Collector's World, where coins tell stories and collectors make history.